Hello. Welcome to the Keptn community meeting. So today is March 30th. We finally finished all time zone changes, I believe, everywhere in the world, unless I miss something. And it means that we are more or less back to the stable schedule. Just a reminder for those who participate in morning meetings, we agreed that we would stick them to time zones. So, for example, in the Central Europe, it would be 10 a.m. for this meeting. So we just moved it to UTC. Well, it's 8 a.m. UTC now. So it's just for your information. Yeah, all the calendars and other areas should be up to date, except the CNCF calendar, because my tickets for updating to the CNCF calendar got stuck. And actually, my question to the team is whether we want to have Keptn meetings on the CNCF calendar at all.
So before we added them to the CNCF calendar for more visibility, to attract more people, but I don't think it's needed like that anymore, especially if we have meeting time zone changes or daytime changes on, I wouldn't call it short notice, but regularly. I mean,
Yeah. Because for me, when I open CNCF, it looks like that. Sometimes it's 4 or 5 meetings in a row. So it's really impossible to get informed anyway. So I think that maybe for us, the easiest solution would be to just pull out Keptn meetings from there, or maybe just put our own calendar, because every time you change the meeting or the meeting time, you need to submit a ticket.
But at the same time, the calendar entries are anyway on the CNCF community page. Can they not like be automated between those two, or like?
I asked
that
about
not
that. It's on the roadmap eventually. But yeah, it would be really awesome. So current situation that the CNC, the CDF, the Linux Foundation, they're all migrating to Bevy. So I would expect all these quality of life integrations to be adopted gradually, but still Bevy is a new platform. So a lot of life quality things are definitely missing at the moment. And many meetings happen outside Bevy. So right now, I don't think they're ready to migrate.
Understood. I think it's fine as long as we have like this Keptn community page on the CNCF community, because all the meetings are listed there, and I think that's the entry point for people if they're interested for meetings. So we don't need the calendar.
Yeah, I think we just have to make an effort to remind people, because sometimes I forget that the meeting's on because it's not on my calendar, and then I have to go through the process of registering for the event and then getting the email and then adding it to my calendar.
So there is the Google Calendar that Oleg is maintaining, as far as I'm aware. I really enjoy using that.
Yeah, so Google Calendar is the easiest way. So far it's more or less up to date. I mean, there are changes happening here and there, but generally you can just subscribe to this calendar if you use Google, and you can see everything there.
So. Yeah, I have it in my Outlook, for instance. It automatically syncs once per hour. So
okay, nice. I'm talking to CNCF in 2 days, so I can bring up the integration thing and see if they have that in the roadmap or it's coming anytime soon as well.
We've had a discussion about it with Brian Dawson. So Brian Dawson is former director of product management for LFX tools. He left, I believe, 2 or 3 months ago. But we had a discussion about it when he was showing Bevy Alpha to people who are interested in the LFX tooling. And it was on the roadmap. So definitely bringing it up again wouldn't hurt. So if you're interested to find all the calendars, etc., go Keptn community meetings. And here, basically, we have links to public Google Calendar everywhere. So this page is up to date now. Well, except the time, of course. So I will get it updated. Okay, so I will submit a ticket and let's see what they do. So the next topic, KubeCon and Keptn incubation updates. So no good news here. First of all, we are not going to reach the incubating status by April 12th. Why? Because there is 2 weeks review period, public period. Once the CNCF2C makes a confirmation. Sorry, I'll find it later. But yeah, so right now the situation is that we cannot even theoretically hit the incubating status until April 12th. I escalated it to the CNCF2C last week, escalated big time. And what happens? So firstly, we got a new TUC sponsor. So it will be Harry Zhenk going forward. So Cornelia, she's the co-sponsor or whatever, I do not know. But it means that we basically need some extra time to pass through the incubation. And Keptn Community Day at KubeCon is likely cancelled. So because it's the mandatory requirement. We discussed a few alternative options for that. We still can host an event off premises. The budgeting provided, that we can find a venue on the short notice. It's still not given that we would be incubating at all by Valencia. I know that Harry is really active, but he has a lot of projects to juggle. And he helps us, but I wouldn't expect him to be committed to just fix 1 year delay in just a week. So I'm not sure. It's possible that all Keptn incubation party and other things will be pushed to autumn to KubeCon NA, but let's see. So we still have quite a big agenda for KubeCon, and actually, let me remind you about CD Events Day. So it's another conference happening on May 7th. So one of opportunities for us is actually to extend the Keptn agenda there, because Keptn is also driven by events. There is a lot of opportunities, discussions, and maybe with Keptn Community Day being off the table, we can focus more on collaboration, interoperability at this event. So I guess Thomas will be busy with GitOps Summit happening in parallel. So we still have a kind of overlap. But yeah, maybe for other contributors, it might make sense to join either GitOps Summit or CD Events Day. And I already know that CD Events Day will be free of charge for those who register for KubeCon. So yeah, let's see. Any questions, comments?
Yeah, I'll be going to CD events. I was talking to Andrea last night as well, so they want me to talk about the Ortelius project and how they're using events as well. So I'll be attending that one in person.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for us, of course, it's interesting to discuss how Keptn events specification got formed, actually what was alignment with CD events, and what we plan to do next. Also, we had this discussion about forking the rest of Keptn specification to application lifecycle events or whatever. So maybe creating a new standard. So I think it would be also a good topic for a workshop at this day, because we can discuss whether it's technically feasible, whether there are other contributors who would be interested, and if so, maybe we could generalize even more bits of Keptn. Yes.
Yeah.
So I will likely adjust my priorities based on that. I still need to discuss with the team. There is still a glimmer of hope that the event happens, but yeah, let's say I'm not very confident right now.
Have you seen the HackMD file for it?
For CD Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah. It's got your name on it
Just,
for Jenkins and events and cloud events.
I kind of know this project. Yeah, so what we are talking about, yeah, CD Events Con at KubeCon planning.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
So we actually have a number of existing prototypes created in the beginning. One of them was actually with Keptn, and another one we had a Google Summer of Code project in Jenkins, where we integrated Jenkins with cloud events, which is more or less aligned with the specification. So currently, of course, we need to update to fit the recent version of the specification. But Jenkins is on the table, and actually I got asked by Andrea whether I can deliver this talk. Maybe, but let's see. So I guess I will confirm.
Yeah, he wants everyone to confirm by this Friday as well.
Yeah.
To finalize it.
Well, the thing, so basically they try to finalize the main track, but what makes sense to show, is basically this one. So basically they got quite a big space. So they have this main room, but also they have 2 or 3 rooms for breakout sessions. So if you want to have some workshops, brainstormings, etc., we can get them here even in parallel with the main agenda. So I think that it's something which we can consider. But yeah. So, any other comments, suggestions? Okay. So another opportunity that we actually do Keptn Community Day as hybrid event, maybe sometime in summer, I'm not sure. But yeah, right now I don't do any specific planning. So let's see what we discuss with the team. Because we wanted to do something rather contributor focused in Austria. So maybe it could be an opportunity to do that.
And what date would that be around? Or you're not sure yet?
Not sure yet, but definitely before entire Europe shutdowns for summer vacations.
Yeah, okay.
So let's shoot before June 15th, 20th, or something like that. I mean, virtual event, it's easy to organize. Whether it makes sense, it's a rather separate topic. Because for me, it's easier to just have specific sessions. So for example, we want to brainstorm my GitOps. We just schedule, let's say, a 3 hours session, etc., announce it and do that. We don't need to have this community day or whatever, just if everyone is online. But for hybrid event, yeah, let's see. Okay. So then let's move on. Okay, so then Google Summer of Code news. Reminder for students that basically application period begins on April 4th. It doesn't change much in practice. So if you're interested, you can already submit your drafts of the applications for review, for example, as Google Doc drafts, etc., to get initial feedback. But from April 4th, the portal will be open for the submissions on the website. And once it's open by April 19th, you will need to submit a final proposal, not a draft, if you want to participate in the program. And then they will be reviewed by organizations. So we have 3 weeks left until the application deadline. And if you're interested to clarify any questions, etc., it's definitely a good time. So for any community meeting and developer meeting, we reserve time. In the end, to discuss it, we can have ad hoc sessions if there is interest. So, for example, we had one last week for documentation website rework. And if there is interest to have something like that for GitOps, Thomas, or for anything else, I think we could do that. Okay. Comments, questions on GSOC? Then, integration between Artelius and Keptn. Brett, would you like to take over?
Yeah, sure. So for those that don't know about this project, it's Ortelius is essentially a catalog of microservices. So you can have a record or a ledger of what microservices you have and where they're deployed. So what they want to do is they're doing deployment with Argo CD, Argo rollouts, and then they want to use Keptn for the control plane, essentially, for the other tools that they want to bring in. So at the moment, we're just doing a bit of discovery on it. So we have all the GitOps for Argo done, and then we're just seeing how the notifications are going to be sent to Keptn, and then get Ortelius to do the work. So Adam Gardner and I are working on that. We're thinking about having a hackathon day pretty soon, maybe not this weekend, but next, just to finish that project integration off. So I might get together a document just stating what the hackathon will be and what we want to achieve out of it, and then see where people lie in time zones. So maybe we might have, 2 or 3 hours in the morning and 2 or 3 hours at night, and then we can get all time zones. So we can have the US in the morning, and then we can have India, Europe at nighttime. I'm talking Australia time. So yeah, I think it's a interesting integration, and yeah, I'll keep everyone updated on that as well as we progress. So we have a, like, we call it a GitOps cluster, but it's just our DevOps cluster with Keptn, Argo, everything we need already installed, ready to go. So now we're just writing the integration. So we're considering making a Ortelius custom service from the Keptn template, or we might just use the webhook service. So we're just seeing what makes sense. So Adam and I are working with that at the moment, and then I'll present back at the next meeting the plan of what we need to do to finish it off. And I'd just like to introduce as well, while I'm talking, Narinda. So he'll be working with me on this one as well. And then we have someone else, but they've dropped off. So
Hello.
yeah, Narinda.
Yeah, hi Brad. Hello everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. This is my first time meeting for the Keptn meeting, but I've quite known about Keptn and of your works. We've been using it a lot, I've been following the works of Alex Ellis and Alex Jones, who was a Keptn community. I believe he was on the mentoring board or something like that, but I can't remember at the top of my head. So I'm great to be here, and yeah. So if there is anything needed, please feel free to ask me, and I would be happy to contribute in any way possible.
Thank
I
you.
definitely have a bunch of questions. But first of all, thanks a lot for driving these integrations, because Artelius also becomes quite popular for configuration management. And actually, I heard there was a discussion about including Keptn into Artelius by default. Because I believe that Artelius also has support for auto remediation, etc. Is it true, or did I?
It's true,
yeah.
Tracy that's definitely true. Tracy Raglan was speaking to me about it, but I believe they're talking about possibly the commercials with Dynatrace. I think they need to get permission to do that. So it's definitely what they want to do, but I guess it's early stages of conversation at the moment. I believe I'm not involved in the conversations. I'm not sure, but it's true. Yeah. They spoke about Backstage a lot as well.
So basically, it would be more or less similar to how Platform Ops, Crateo Platform Ops uses Keptn Insight as an engine. I think it would be interesting.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting project. Yeah. So I'll present back at the next meeting about just a bit more of a formal like just some basic slides around it. Just what we're working on.
Yeah, I heard about Backstage like a few months ago, and got to know that it's been added into CNC projects landscape, and would love to try it about it. But would it work with all Kubernetes offerings? Can I simply spin it up with kind, or does it require a lot of heavy liftings?
Yeah, we can talk about that after. I guess it's not in the context of this meeting, but
okay, sure.
I was more talking around how Ortelius want to adopt that as well as Keptn as well. Yeah, I can show you Backstage after.
Yeah, to like you're saying that we're Keptn as well as Ortelius can adapt Backstage to delegate user access.
More just Ortelius is going to adopt Keptn, and they're considering Backstage as well.
Okay, understood.
So far, there is ongoing integration between Keptn and Backstage, but I would say that right now it's rather stale. So we have this plugin for Backstage created by Kirotech, again for Krateo, but this plugin is not finished. Because we have it as a JSOC project, but right now we still need to finish migrating it to our infrastructure and to actually make it at least available as alpha in a marketplace of Backstage. Plus, Backstage is just developer portal, so there are infinite opportunities for creating additional dashboards, etc. So the question what would be needed for users and how to make it extensible so that everyone can create the additional view, visualization, control into the Backstage. It's a wide open question. We have this item for Google Summer of Code with some students asking. So maybe we will have this project. I'm not 100% sure right now. And for this hackathon, so basically it's an internal one. So you're not planning to do it publicly, right?
Yeah, I would like to do it public. Yeah, definitely. Because I'd like to mentor some people on the way. So I'm gonna break the task down into small tasks so students can have the opportunity to do small contributions to the work as well. So it will be public.
Yeah, so definitely it will be for the next weekend. So for this weekend, it will be a bit complicated.
No. Yeah. It's something that we need time to reach out to people and possibly market, but we definitely can't do it in 2 days. It has to be well planned. to do some
Yeah, that's why I was asking,
Yeah.
because if it's just a few developers, you can just jump on Zoom and do it.
No, yeah, it's gonna. We want it to be, you know, we want to try and mentor some folks at the same time. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. So if you need any support with announcements, with Schwag, etc., let us know, because I think it would be important to promote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can help you with all the required logistics.
Yeah, I'll get the document ready with exactly what we're doing, and then I'll present it back to you to see what you think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So, any other topics we would like to cover today?
That's pretty much it for me, I think.
Christian, Thomas?
Nothing from.
Yeah. So maybe one thing I could briefly show. Based on the feedback for the previous roadmap, I was experimenting with the new layout in GitHub Projects Beta. So currently, in addition to our roadmap, we share all the documentation. This one, there is a new layout created just last week based on the same items. So what's important here that we have the same view. So I removed all the columns, etc., as we agreed before. So there is no specific pointing to versions. You can do that through milestones. And also there are additional views for particular examples. So for example, core functionality. So we have all the caps here. Ideally, we should have them connected to the milestone pointing when we want to deliver that. Well, I'm not sure whether we really want to have it. It's subject for discussion, but at least you can see all the technical development in Keptn core here, if it's linked. Then we have integrations. And this is right now the weakest part, because we definitely have more ideas about integrations and more people interested in doing integrations, so that we have items here. So maybe with the new roadmap layout, we can actually make backlog, let's say, infinite, and put items here like GitHub integration, etc., so that we can at least provide some insights about what's going on. Same for community, for documentation. Now there are separate views, and you can also see that the columns can be configured if needed. But yeah, this is basically the draft. And
Looks
I
cool.
will be. So one problem that GitHub doesn't have any support for moving items between. There is older project and the new project. There is no way to migrate older project to the new project while retaining the hyperlink. We don't have redirect to our roadmap right now, so it will need some adjustments, but it's a logistics topic I can handle. What would be rather interesting for me is to maybe in April, definitely ahead of KubeCon, have all the items we have in mind, not just Keptn Core, but all the integrations, etc. Put them there and to see what to share this roadmap with the community.
So no.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's see what we can do about that. But yeah, we'll keep refactoring that. But for me, yeah, the lack of integrations is definitely a big part for us, and for users too, who look for to understand how they can integrate Keptn with their own toolset. Okay, so Any other topics on the agenda we have for today?
No, are there much people from Keptn going to KubeCon this year in person?
I will likely go in person, but only for the first 2 days, because for me it's also parenting schedule. Also, my foreign passport expires on May 18th, and with all the current situation, I'm not exactly sure whether I will be able to get a new one. So probably I will be stuck in Switzerland for the next several months until I figure out what to do next.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope to come there.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
I'll be attending virtually for the EU one, planning to come in person for the NE because of the situation and stuff's going on here. So, Brad, you're going in person.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
Mm.
If like I'm in the planning committee for the Kubernetes contributor summit for the EU one. Is like, do we need any hall in, like, if we are going to conduct Captain community meetings in person? Would you like to have any halls that to be booked for you on a certain time slot? Because for the Kubernetes contributor summits planning, so they have one big hall and three small halls filled with snacks for the entire pan of those days. So would you like this to be happening for Captain or for Ortelius?
Is this for India, you mean?
No, not for India.
Or
In the EU, in the EU. So
yeah.
so they're like they have halls, right? So if you want to conduct any in-person things, so you can have this thing applied, and you can have that hall booked for your time slot. So it is provided by the CNCF
Mhm.
as a part of KubeCon EU Contributor Summit. So which will be happening from day one, which will be happening on day one, day two, and day three.
Yep. I didn't quite understand the question, but
So the concept is that like we have Cube contracts, so there is a contributor summit also happens. So there where they have resources like small rooms, small number of rooms, which can be given to the any SIG projects or any of the CNCF projects to host their meeting, to get contributors come and to get introduced, to have spontaneous uh, conversations, those kinds of stuff. So if we are going to go there, then you would like to introduce about Ortelius or to introduce about Captain to the community, then you can have that time slot booked in the hall or in that small room where you can have people come and go for on that
okay.
certain time stuff. So that is what I was trying to say.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
So, because KubeCon going to be a big opportunity to get a lot of good folks to come into the project and to know about it, and they can have some cool ways to have uh, great kind of communications to take this project to a newer level. So that's why I mentioned those things.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I will post regarding that in the uh, Discord, Audilis Discord. So for
Yep.
further details, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Cool. So I think that's it for today, Olive.
Yeah, I think so. So then, thanks everyone. So let's continue asynchronously. And reminder, we changed the meeting times. So thanks to everyone for participating, and thanks to Brett for organizing this Captain and Artelius integration hackathon. I think it's really nice. So, see you soon then.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye. See you everyone.